Hi friends, welcome to GMAT Point. I'm Prakhar Jain and today I want to talk about two of the most prestigious schools in India. So let's get started. Now if you're aiming for a top tier MBA, you've probably asked yourself this question. Is IIM Ahmedabad a better school than ISB or is it the other way around? Now both of them are among India's most prestigious business schools and produce outstanding career outcomes. But there are subtle differences. One may not entirely be better than the other. What matters more is which one of the two is more aligned to your goals. So in this video, we'll compare them across 5 important parameters so you can decide which one is the better fit for your profile. But first, a small note. The 1-year MBA at ISB is called the PGP while the 2-year MBA is called the PGP while. The 1-year MBA at IIM Ahmedabad is called the PGPX whereas the 2-year MBA is called the PGP. So to avoid any confusion, we'll just refer to these as 1 and 2-year MBAs in this video. For the 1-year MBA, both schools will accept a GMAT or a GRE score. Similarly, for the 2-year MBA, they will both accept a CAT score. The only difference is that ISB is also willing to accept GMAT or GRE scores for their 2-year MBA, which means there is an increased level of flexibility in terms of entrance routes. So if you are aiming for a 2-year MBA and believe you have higher chances through the GMAT route, ISB is the goal to set. The only detail here is that IIM Ahmedabad does accept GMAT scores for the 2-year MBA, but only for foreign nationals, OCIs and NRIs. Domestic candidates do not have access to that. Now let's talk about what is probably the biggest differentiator, work experience. For the 2-year programs, neither school has mandatory work experience as a requirement. Now that being said, meaningful internships, full-time work experience and strong achievements after graduation can significantly strengthen your profile. As for the 1-year MBAs, the minimum requirement for IIM Ahmedabad is 4 years of work experience, whereas ISB is willing to accept candidates with 2 years of work experience. But there is still a nuance. The latest batch profile from ISB suggests that the average work experience of the PGP cohort was 4 years. This means that while ISB is willing to consider your application at 2 years of work experience, any less than 3 years still puts you at the younger end of the cohort. Now on to what is most likely the thing you've been waiting eagerly for, placements. The latest placement reports from IIM Ahmedabad quote a figure of 35.5 LPA for the 2-year program and 40.1 LPA for the 1-year program. As for ISB, their 1-year PGP cohort secured a mean package of 37.29 LPA. As for the 2-year PGP while the inaugural batch is yet to graduate in 2027, so there is no data available as of yet. However, the summer placement data looks promising to say the least. The average stipend secured by the cohort was 3.2 lakhs while the highest one stood at 7.3. Keep in mind, this is for a 2-month internship. Now, just one thing I do want you to know is that in the case of 1-year packages, the figure's dependence on the batch profile is much more significant as compared to the 2-year MBAs. A lot rides on the work experience and background since these programs are for an older cohort. The next big thing that you'd want to know about is the fees. Now, for this, we'll be using the latest publicly available information only. A 2-year MBA from IIM Ahmedabad costs 27.5 lakhs, while a similar one from ISB costs around 29.5. While these figures are close, the difference is much larger when it comes to executive programs. ISB's executive program can cost anywhere from 39 to 50 lakhs, while a similar one at IIM Ahmedabad costs 35 to 40. So although fees may not be as significant a factor when choosing between the two schools for a 2-year MBA, it certainly becomes a huge factor to take into consideration when choosing between the two for an executive program. Now let's talk about some softer, non-quantifiable benefits that are still relevant when choosing between the two. While both schools are at the absolute top of the country's MBA schools, there are certain differences. IIM Ahmedabad offers India's strongest legacy brand with a case study heavy pedagogy similar to that of Harvard's. It also has a very strong alumni network across public leadership, which is rare even amongst top schools. ISB, on the other hand, offers international faculty, cohorts with international experience, and hence a much more global exposure. It also offers a very strong alumni network and is ideal for those who want to accelerate their careers without investing 2 years in the process. So which one should you choose? If you're looking for the traditional IIM experience with unmatched legacy and the classic 2-year MBA, IIM Ahmedabad is incredibly hard to beat. But if you're an experienced professional looking for a faster career acceleration, a globally diverse peer group and flexibility in admissions, ISB becomes an equally compelling option. Ultimately, this isn't about which school is better, it's about which school is the better fit for where you are in your career. And regardless of which school you go to, subscribe to GMAT Point.